What the heck is going on, everybody? I can talk now that I'm done choking on my tea. So what we got here is we got an engine. That's pretty exciting stuff. We've got a gasket. We've got some super lube right here. Not a sponsor. Nobody's a sponsor. I mean, hey, you guys get somebody to sponsor me. Anyway, we're just gonna put this on here, test fit it, see how it looks. The only thing I don't like, and I did look at the manual. If you look right here where my fat finger is, this thing just sits here. I'm not kidding you. It just sits in there. There's nothing like to hold this over, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of grease here and kind of grease around. Don't worry, I'll wipe off my excess. I think I did check that out. Yeah, okay. Put some down here. Yeah, this is really, and I mean really cutting edge, exciting stuff. It's not snowing today. It snowed last night. Oh, and I've got these Allen head bolts in here. I know you Honda, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh, what the crap is that word? I forget. I'm drawing a blank. But we'll disagree with using, sorry, I'm still kind of half choked on my tea. I don't think that goes down in there. Let's see here. Actually, I could have left that Allen right there. That's them two long ones. You know, I brain fart with words. You know, just like I was brain farting with the starter relay and the ignition doohickey. I don't know if that goes up in there. I don't know what hole goes down there, but I did check the alignment on here, and that is kind of where it goes. It's kind of, I don't know what the big hole right there is, but anyway. For those people who like to remain original, I get it, you know, but, you know, I mean, a lot of these aren't in bad shape, but they do tend to strip out, and unless you use a JIS or an impact. So I think just for ease of whatever, I am using the new ones. Besides, I got them. So that's what I'm going to use. Happy Saturday, by the way. I got my chores done. Got the driveway scraped again. So I can play a little bit. Got the floor mopped. I am never putting down salt again. Because I had nothing but salt tracked all over the house. I don't like how that just sits on there like that. That bugs me. But the grease also helps keep it in place. And if I gotta take it off again to do something, it's not going to stick and get ruined. Lining up okay. Alright, so then let's take a little bit more. And it does, the grease does not affect anything. Seal wise. I'm just thinking, this whole area right here kind of got me puzzled. So what am I missing here? Okay, look here, right here. See that? That is underneath there. Okay. That is a void down in there. There is no oil hole. There is an oil hole here, or a stud hole. Well, there's nothing under there, so I guess it's no big deal. We're just going to look and see how this side cover looks on here, because I'll show you the heads here in a minute. I need to, I don't know, reach out to Dale or somebody. I use that Alumabrite stuff, and I'll tell you, I mean, they turned out decent, but when you pull them out of there before you rinse them off, they're like black. So then I got to go and clean them again. So it is kind of a pain in the ass. And I did follow the directions and put the proper amount in, but I did actually put a little bit less than what they recommend. So I don't know. Okay, so everything's pretty much buttoned up in here. That one goes in there. And this one goes in the little peggy thing, peg thing. Put grease on that shaft there, just for the heck of it. Yeah, I'm still choking up my tea. What am I missing here? There's that dowel. I think that's what's hung up on. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Doesn't that look pretty? I may want to take my little dipstick off here. And I didn't notice it was all chewed up until it was too late. So I think that one goes there. That one went there. Now, I need to see if I can get a nut driver. These are 5 mil. So I don't need to make that tight at all. And the rest of these are all the same. Look at that, I'm not missing any. I may have a driver for the drill for this. I'm just too lazy to go look for it. So we got excess gasket hanging out all over the place. Which is fine. As long as it doesn't interfere with the screws going in, bolts, Allens, whatever you want to call them. And I need to go to the other room and get my cover for this. I did not get a new O-ring because the other one seems fine. I gotta look in this pile of gaskets. I think there may be, we'll check here in a minute, a gasket that goes on the outside of here. Originality, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah. To each of their own. Okay, so that's on. Then we've got this little gasket that goes back down in here. And let me look in my pile of gaskets I got here. See if there was one for there. I don't see one. Hold on a sec. Let me get that other piece. There is a rubber gasket down inside here. So. And I know there was 3 new. I mean, I did clean them up. They look really nice. But we're going to use the new ones. That way, everything is the same. This does go into a certain orientation. Right there. This one is a, I think it's a 4. Yeah, these are 4s. So I put clear coat on that part. Then on the other side we got clear coat on that one there. I think they turned out good. I do have my fork. That I can tighten down. Voila! What do you think? It looks good? I like it. Oh, I did put the 2 screws into the starter. They came with those as well. I'm guessing a lot of these are for the, I'm not guessing, I know a lot of these are for the other side, which I'm not ready to put on yet because I still got to get off my butt and order those seals we were talking about last night. So in the meantime, I'm going to put all this stuff back up in here. Well, I'll lose them. I can put these in the toolbox because the toolbox is back on the bike now. I'll get a little bag. Actually, I think I have one from one of my old Chinese bikes. And put them in one of those. Then I'll get a bag and I'll put these in all of my Honda parts. But I think it looks pretty good. See? Look at that. Don't that look pretty? Although I think it needs a Honda sticker right there or right here or maybe at an angle. No, maybe straight across. I may have to get out the Cricut and print me some vinyl Honda stickers. So anyway, we have that thing. Oh, I was going to tell you. Let's go over here. Okay, so here is the upper head. I'm sure somebody's going to yell at me for that. I need to clean these out. Again, I did wipe them down with some that WD-40 stuff, but they turned out pretty good. You know, I just had to go back in and kind of wipe down with a scrub brush the inside of the fins. This one definitely turned out a lot better looking, so I'm pretty happy with it. Like I said though, it turns them black, so then I got to go and scrub all this stuff. So maybe that's normal. I don't know. I don't mess with that Alumibrite, and I probably should have poured it into a jug and kept it, but I dumped it out because I was kind of ticked off. But I got a whole nother gallon to make some more, so have no fear. Okay, I still got to work on the rear brake thing. There's only a million things I still got to work on, but for now, this part's done. I mean, I still got to obviously tighten all my bolts, which I'll do that. Ooh. That sucker is not light. I'm going to get me a sandwich bag. Sandwich bag. Right there. And I'll put all these in it and label it Honda bolts. Yeah, I need to remember to go to Harbor Freight and get me another one of those little bin things. That way I can write on them the length, you know, and how they are, and blah blah blah. That way I got them for down the road. Okay, so now as you can see, new, old. You know, how does that head? And I thought about hitting these with some silver, aluminum paint, high temp aluminum paint. Kind of clean them up even further, but I think that's going to look pretty good. Obviously this is much shinier, but yeah, it'll work. It'll work. Alright. Oh, I still got gasket material I got to scrape off of those, so that's on my to-do list, so I'll do that here in a little bit. And this here stator magneto, I gotta take them screws out and put this gasket in there, then I'll be ready to put that side cover back on. And I can't put that on the other side though until I get those seals. And then I've got these for the cylinder head cap. I need to clean these things up, paint them or something. They look pretty dull. But alright, so that's where we are. So I will pause you guys for a sec and bring you back on to the next thing. So see you here in a minute. Alright folks, we're on to something else. What was I working on before? Oh, I meant to show you guys this. Okay, this thing right here is the clutch adjustment. And if you look behind it, there's a spring, you know, and the clutch cable goes into here. Sorry, right there. There's a nut right here, and it's like a little fork. I was kind of looking at it. It's like, well, how the heck are you supposed to adjust this thing? Well, there is a secret to this. You have to loosen this bolt right here, and then you can take a screwdriver, quarter, whatever, and you can turn it, and that's how you adjust it. Now, because I painted this, so I wanted to take it off because somebody previously had nicked this all up. There is a Zerk fitting here, but to take this thing off, you got to take this screw out, take that nut off right there, pull this whole assembly out, and then just tap it down and it'll push out. Clean it up, grease it, and put it back in. Now, obviously, once I get done with everything, I loaded it up with grease, so I think it's good. All right, I just want to point that out to you guys, so you don't go whacking on that with a screwdriver or a hammer or whatever to try to get it to turn. Okay, I've got canes, rings here, and I need to figure out which one goes on top, which one goes in the middle. These are the oil ring on these is 3 different pieces. You have a top, middle, and then the bottom one is down in the cylinder here. Okay, according to the spec, the ring gap can be between 0.16 and 0.40 millimeters. So I have the one ring right down in here. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Okay, so right where my fingernail is, that's where the ring is, the gap. So I've got a 16, a 25, and I know I had a 40 out here. What do I do with that 40? There's a 38. There's a 43. Well, we'll go with a 38. No, there's a 40. Okay, so we got 0.25 millimeter, and the goal here is to see if it goes in, and that one does a little bit. 0.25. 0.40 though, that is the max that it can go to. And let's see if I can put a little light on this. And it does go in. I could have swore maybe I moved it. Okay, 0.40 does not want to go in. It'll start, but it's like doesn't go. So that's good. This one tests fine. Take this one out. And we'll drop this one in. I'm going to have fun getting these rings. Now see, that gap is a lot tighter, so let's go with a 0.25. 0.25 still fits, okay? So, but if we go to 0.40, which is our max, it don't want to go. I can force it in, but it doesn't want to go. So that one's good. Now, as far as these oil rings, they're definitely, and even on the other piston, the 2 oil rings were not seized up on the piston. So this one, the 40 does go in, but these things they're thin. So I'm gonna leave those as they are. So that's one set. I do need to look at these. There should be some writing on them. I'll tell you which is up. Yeah, there's got a T on it. And maybe that's the top one. I see nothing on this one. Yeah. Well, there is some cat hairs. We're always talking about cat hairs here. Freaking cats. Let me put the readers on. See if I see any numbers, which I do not. Or letters. Yeah, there's a 1. Okay, so anytime you have a marking, that's the top side. So I'm guessing maybe the gold one is the top. I don't know. I'll double check with Kane. So those appear to be okay. And I did clean this out again. I ran the hone through it, the ball hone, and sprayed it out with brake clean, and then wiped it out with what did I wipe it out with? Transmission fluid. Tell you what, man, messing with these rings makes me nervous. Okay, so let's do a 40. Nope, 40 does not fit. So let's do a 25. 25 fits. Kind of snug too, so that's good. And then we'll do this one. There's the number. So we're up. So I've been making some progress on doing a few things today. Let's try the 40 first. 40 does not fit. And 25 has got a little drag on it. So these are good. So, because like I said, it's between 0.15 and 0.40 millimeters. Okay, so these are good. And I did measure the thicknesses already, and they are perfectly fine. So we are good there, guys. So next up will be to actually put them onto the pistons. This one, like I said, it's got those little nicks in it, but honestly, I have no idea where they came from. Let's zoom you out. And I did measure the thickness on these, and they measured out okay. So we're good there. We can, pistons fit down here pretty good. A little bit of drag, a little bit. So to me, that's a win. So we'll get these rings put on. I'm just kind of wondering how much of a challenge it's going to be to get this down, because I don't have a ring compressor. I've never used them. I've always just, you know, had a single cylinder, you know, 2-stroke. So, you know, and it's a pain in the butt. That's for darn sure. Here I am not cussing. But yeah, this has got 2. And I gotta try to finagle it down on there. So I may have a bit of a challenge, and honestly, I don't even know if I'll turn the camera on for that, because that's, you know, it's just added pressure, you know, under pressure. Under pressure. Who sang that song? You know, you people really need to put in the comments, you know, all these little trivia things and songs and whatnot, and give answers. So anyway, that is where I am at the moment, trying to figure out what I actually want to work on next, because I've only got a million things to work on. Oh, I will show you guys this. Come over here. All right, so we've got the coil. And here's the original, and here's this new one. Remember I told you previous thing we were talking about. They're identical, and I'm going to use it. See, I'm actually, I need to test them. Well, I know this is brand new, so I know it works. I do need to see if I've got boots. So I don't know if I've got boots. But anyway, all I did was just look at it, you know, to mark to see which wire was which, because this is black and blue. This is green and yellow. So the yellow is actually the black wire and the green is the blue wire. I don't think I have. I've got black electrical tape. I don't think I have any blue. I'll have to look. But I'll mark that. That problem is resolved. I have not put anything else on the bike yet. I need to get some time and mess with this wire harness and start cutting some of this stuff that's bad off and just rewrapping it. I don't think I'm going to rewrap the whole thing. I'll clean it up, but you know, some of this, I don't know. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, up here, this here is chewed up, so I'll cut this plastic off and I'll wrap it with the cloth wrap. This stuff here is a bit stiff, so I'm going to peel that back, take that off, and I may just come down to about here. This thing here I need to address. This goes to the horn, and I think one of them is a double connector for the coil. I need to take some turpentine, mineral spirits, and clean all these boots off where I got a little crazy with the spray paint, and I'll just clean that up. Some of this stuff is definitely stiff, so I may take that off and just rewrap it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if I'll bring you along for that because that's going to be a real pain in the butt and it's going to be very time consuming. But I've got the brake switch hooked back up. I got the starter relay hooked back up, ignition switch, horn, we're good there. And yeah, that's where we are. So once I'm anxious to get this all back together and put back on so we can kind of move forward with some of this engine stuff and make some progress. I'd like to get to the point to where I've got everything back on, cam back in, chain back on, get the tappets on, yeah, get all that stuff back together and keep my fingers crossed that everything is dandy. So, bring you back here in a minute. Alright folks, well, you see I've got the swing arm on. That's actually pretty fun to install. Not, especially by yourself. I gotta find my piece of rebar. It went flying across the room. But yeah, I ended up putting the rebar through this side to hold this end in. So I get the thing in on the other side. And I got to looking, there was a washer. Kept all the parts together. You guys seen that. There's a washer on the right hand side over here. And I was on Partzilla and I was looking at some other stuff and I noticed there's a washer on this side. Well, they show a washer on this side. That is a 14 millimeter bolt. And I went through all my washers. I found some, you know, that would fit, but look how thick that sucker is. That's a bit too thick. So I found the next closest thing, washer. And I took my Dremel with my diamond bits on it and just kind of rounded it out. So now I have a washer and I ain't got to spend $10, $12 or whatever for a freaking washer. Of course, now if I had a lathe, which is on my things to get when I become a millionaire, then I could have turned one out. I would say not easy enough, but I could turn one out. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that real quick, so, you know, make do with what you got. And that worked. So, anyway, I'll bring you back here in a sec. Alright, I'm going to tighten this thing down, and we'll call this a win.
what it was. So we got these air chairs for about how to go out there. Probably have a new size of the room, and for a long time we get the size to the video. Here lately, it's been a lot better. A lot more DIY.
I gotta get that nut. I don't know what to call these nuts. They don't have a bushing in it.
Cooking channel, well, people are doing that specifically wanting to watch cooking videos, and they're probably going to watch.
I'm gonna have to. I don't have two 3/4 inch. I gotta get that through.
So if you make a place with a propane tank, 6,500 drums, you get 2 out of 1 tank maybe. But 6,500 drums, I don't like because they're thin, they rust out. I like using this thick kind of stuff that I do.
I don't remember this bolt being that hard to get off there. All right, let me. That is a 19. Let me get my impact. Hold on a minute. Let's see if the impact will knock it on. I don't know why this thing's being so difficult. I do believe she's on there tight now.
I don't know what you're saying, what are you thinking about? But I don't know how you're coming. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's gotta be. Oh, goodness gracious.
All right. Well, that part's done. And yes, I did grease the crap out of it. Man, nicked my finger. Yeah, well. Okay, next up, we've got this fender. Let me get you back up in here in the air. There. Okay, I need to get some 10 mils. I'm going to have to wire brush the I think that's going to reach down in there. We'll show you the pistons here in a minute.
Yeah, we don't, we're not condoning trying to do wrong.
Turn it. Yep.
But yes, thank you, Mama City. So first, you kind of close the
I'm going to have to wire brush this before I sit it in the I bet this is going to break.
He's actually good with a lot of snow and a lot of stuff. If he had fire, he'd never do a lot of snow. He's very good.
We got one off.
Video quality wins it does. And that's something we got to focus on this year. I want to do better videos
I'll probably end up putting these in the ultrasonic. They're pretty gunked up. And rusty.
Right, so you gotta put that PPE on while cooking to get grease in that PPE.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna have to let that sucker sit. Man, that thing is in there. Alright. Let's see if we can get these back brackets off.
That was around a while. And other than the 410, still over the season, they're almost back to the board, I think. Scott just said he's got somewhere installed, doing something. Should we get solar panels, try to reach for it, have no cooler batteries, and we're going to have it email, I'm here to probably 5 to 15 emails a week just for people asking. So what panels we're going to do,
These suckers are in there, man.
Perry Goodman is a lot, I recognize him. We appreciate all of our new and one-time friends. We always say, we do not take this for very, very low. So Roger said, I would enjoy 110 videos. I can't imagine how it takes similar videos. It's a lot more than this. 15 video, I think.
Shouldn't be doing this on my glass. All I need to do is crank down on that sucker and break it. I'm trying to, these are shoulder bolts, so I'm trying not to break them. See if I can wedge that one in there.
He loves experimental seasons, and occasionally, sometimes, it's my esophagus and something else that pays for it. It sounds like tonight, my original taste, and there's pays for some experimental seasons. If she says it's spicy enough, oh boy.
Yeah, those will clean up fine.
Oh boy. Yeah, like I said, favorite subject, favorite don't ask me about it. Oh goodness. Hey, speaking of that, I'm going to check in. Oh, I got to check on that.
Okay, that's off. I'll push this wire down through. We'll have to find something to run through there and kind of clean that channel out. A worm clamp should do the trick. Alright, good. So we got that off. Now we can take the light off. Let's leave that there for now. And let me bring you back here in a sec. I'm gonna bring you over to the pistons. All right, guys. Yesterday, and no, I did not record this, and I did not forget to turn my camera on. Pistons give me the. I think pistons are sketchy, especially when it comes to the rings. I do have some of these ring pliers, which I never end up using because I don't think they work that well. Anyway, so you can see, piston. The rings are on. There's no big secret to it. Just go slow, be gentle. Don't overspread them. These things are brittle. They'll crack. And what you want to do is, you see on the top ring here, you should be able to see right there, that's where the gap is. Your bottom ring, you want, what is it, 180 from it, right there. Now, the oil ring, they have two different kinds of rings out there. This is these are factory Honda rings. Thank you, Kane. There are three parts. You know, you have the top ring, the scraper, you have the middle ring, the oil thingy, and then you have the bottom scraper. And those are, it took me a minute to figure it out, but the easiest way to do it is to put your oil ring on first, get that in the groove, then put your bottom ring on and let it slide in, and then put your top scraper ring over the top and let it drop into the slot. That is the easiest way to do it. Now, supposedly, these are supposed to be 120 degrees out from each other. So, you know, say it's right here, and then you'll have another one over here, and then the oil ring, say, have it over on the back side. That is my understanding of it. So, anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put them on tonight. I got dinner cooking. So I've already got guys, honestly, I'm not looking forward to putting this thing back in. Okay, so this is how it sits as you're looking at the bike, and the right hand side was the side that was froze up, and that is this piston right here. Now, on the top of these pistons, there is a marking that says in, so that goes towards the intake port, which will be towards the back. I never did take the rings out of this thing, and let me get these back out. I swear it helps to heat these little suckers a little bit to get these pins out, but let me get my oil. I think I have another oil thing. Now crap, that's got 2-stroke in it. We don't want that. So I'm just going to oil this ring, this bearing up. And we'll set the piston down here. And I purposely left the back side out. And Let's see if these go in there. Okay, that one's in. And it's pushed all the way back. I did take my Scotch-Brite pad and kind of wiped them off a little bit. Helps to have the piston as high up as it'll go. Whoa, and not drop it, but I got oil all over it, so it's kind of slippery. And you know you can't see in there, so you just kind of got to feel around. And that one, I believe, is in. That one is seated all the way in, so both pistons are in. What am I looking for? I know I had that bag out earlier. And this, let's see what that goes to. Oh, that goes inside here. I am looking for my little clips. I really like the clips where they're kind of angled. These things are a pain. To get on. That is exactly why you put a paper towel down in there. Hold on, let me find my magnet tool. Yeah, you guys can watch me struggle with this. I'm definitely on the struggle bus when it comes to these little pins. And I probably ought to invest in a nice pair of needle nose. And see, I'm trying to get it, and it just spins around. This thing is driving me nuts. Alright. I'm gonna see if I got a smaller pair of needle nose. So I may or may not bring it back. Hold on a sec. Alright guys, well, you know, I kind of turned you off there. I actually should have left it running because it was actually quite comical. Alright, this is a big pain in the butt. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how many people like putting these tiny little keepers in there, but I was messing around with that one. Man, I could have swore it went flying, you know. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure I got one of my Suzuki parts, about the same size pistons. I'll go dig one up here in a little bit. So I took the extra one and I was trying to put it on that one, and I got it in there, and it's like, man, it's just not going in the groove. I was looking at it with a flashlight. It's like, it ain't going in the groove. Well, come to find out, that it didn't go flying. It actually fell into the groove, and I didn't see it. So anyway, so I've got this piston here. We still got to do it. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see what I'm doing. Let's see if where my finger at is right there. Close enough. Yeah, these things are really the biggest pain in the butt to get in. Can't say it's fun. Nope. Not even gonna go. It's kind of there. Problem is I never can see it too well. Here's my flashlight. And yeah, they're readers. Okay, it looks like it's in kind of at the bottom. Well, it looks like it's in there. I can see the ends meeting over there. Because, and the reason I say that is the last thing you want is for this pin to not be in there, or you think it's in there and it's not. And I know my big head's probably right in your way. And then it comes loose inside the cylinder. Ask me how I know that. On second thought, don't ask me how I know that. So anyway, that one looks like it's in there. So next up, now the other really fun part. I'm going to clean this off real quick before I go and do it. And I'm trying to figure out the best approach. So let me get this wiped down. I'll bring you right back. All right. So that's done. I got that wiped down. Now they recommend you take some of this Honda Bond, and I will grease most all of this, but they say around this oil passage right here to put the Honda Bond, because this area is prone to leaking. So we'll put a little Honda Bond there and on the other side. Then I'll finish it up with grease. And any excess I'll just wipe off once I get everything on. Assuming I get everything on. There's some sticky stuff. It says it's semi-drying. Just be careful when you put this on. There is, over here on this side that I'm working on, that tiny little I don't know if that's one of the drains. I'm guessing it's one of the drains. For the oil. So you don't want to get any of this Honda Bond or grease or anything like that on it. Of course, I probably ought to use that brush. It'd be easier to get it in there than with these fat fingers of mine. Yeah, we'll make do. Of course, I don't really know if I need to grease these because more than likely, if I have to take it back off, I'm just going to replace the gasket anyway. This one is a paper gasket, whereas the top one I believe is a copper gasket. But if anything, I guess maybe the grease helps fill little voids and whatnot. Okay, that's on there. In a minute. Now I gotta get, there's the gasket. I don't think it matters which side is which because it looks perfectly the same on both sides. Get my chain up through there. Oh, I meant to point out too that these engines have two of these little, what do you want to call them? Dowels in the front towards the starter. So you definitely don't want to forget those. All right, so now we can take a little more of that Honda Bond again. And put some over top. It's like painting. So that means it's therapeutic, right? I am not a painter. Nor do I subscribe to the idea that it is therapeutic. Okay. Put our other layer of lubricant down. Now, the stressful part 2 is coming up. I do not have spring piston ring compressors, so we're winging it. Okay, pistons have already got some lube on them. Let me lube up the inside of the cylinder. Make sure we get our orientation right. And line up our screws. Okay. Hold on a second, and I'll bring you right back. Actually, I think I need to turn my camera up a little bit. There we go. Hold on a sec.